Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Tim Tom podcast. Tim, once again, isn't here, but I've got a very special guest. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Dom Sant, and yeah, I'm very honoured and also very nervous to be on the call, on the
It's
podcast.
Dom from Dom's Opinion.
Yeah, that's me. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
You are more than welcome, my friend. Now, if you were doing Mastermind, would this person be one of your special subjects you might go for? I think Kid
No
Cudi
chance.
probably be your favourite. No
Yeah,
chance.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, you still know a fair bit about the dude. We're talking, of course, about young Lean,
Of
Sweden's
course, yeah.
finest.
Superstar in EU.
The best in the EU, I'd say.
There's not many to be honest. There's competition, so no, he's done quite a bit for the culture and stuff. So he is a bit of a legend.
Jonathan Leendoer. This is his fifth album, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
Is Poison Ivy definitely an album?
I would say like EP kind of, but I mean, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Yeah, project, whatever.
I find it crazy that he was only 24 and he's had five albums and he was in rehab already as well. That's pretty crazy.
He's 24.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that, to be honest. I thought, yeah, that's crazy. That's astounding. Yeah, 5 albums. It just shows how long he's been making music, and yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know this. I'm a bit shocked, to be honest.
And I think, like when we were talking about it, you said that just a guy from Sweden to suddenly have made songs with people like Travis Scott,
Oh yeah, it's
A$AP
crazy. Like,
Ferg. That is crazy.
um, I don't know. He has a lot of influence. I think he's just so like not a lot of people realize, and I think that's just because he's European, and like his main audience is just in Europe. But I think yeah, no, especially with like internet and like how it's like affected hip hop and rap. I think he was one of the pioneers for sure on all that. And obviously, like he did the track with Travis Scott. Look what Travis Scott's become now. He's just a global superstar. So it's crazy that he came up with people like that.
And he built his empire off SoundCloud, really, didn't he?
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah. I don't know. It was kind of like a meme. Like his videos at the start was like a meme, and like some of
Yeah.
the lyrics they did was. I remember he talked about like Zoe Deschanel, like, and it was quite funny in his raps. But then I think he's more recently just transformed that into like actually talking about his problems, talking about. I mean, for me, like with Young Lean, like when he gets emotional, it's one of the best things that you can listen to.
For
Um,
sure.
I don't know, and like the production behind, like obviously in Sad Boys, he's got I think two or more producers like Sherman and White Armor, and they are just crazy good, and they just complement like each other so well. It's amazing to listen to when they get it right though. After that, when they get it right, it goes
Mm.
amazing. But
Yeah, I couldn't believe that he was still with the same guys from Sweden on
yeah,
this album.
it's
It's
pretty
like,
nice. It's really nice to see because they stayed as like a collective. We see a lot of people like they start in like groups and then they do their own thing and split up, but they've stayed the same in the same group since the start, I guess, which is really nice.
okay, so I think, like we were discussing before, he's probably come off his two best albums,
Definitely.
Stranger and Poison Ivy, which were both, certainly track numbers wise, they were less. The Poison Ivy was a lot less. It was his
Yeah,
shortest by a long way.
definitely.
And now here we are with Stars. So, how do you feel about like the start of the album? For me, I thought the first few tracks were where the real strengths were.
Yeah. Um, you got the intro track, and I don't know. There was a lot of hype around based on this album. I thought that based on the last two, like you said, it was the strongest one. So I thought, okay, instantly it's gonna be, you know, he's just gonna build on that. My agenda for the starting, it was, it's a bit too experimental at the start for my liking, which is not a bad
Already?
thing. He's just being like unique, which is always nice. It's not repetitive, but it just feels like the lyricism at the start was a bit sloppy, and the track was a bit of a miss. But then we go into, I believe it was Yayo,
Yeah.
which was it was a high, but obviously like we had the speculation, and there was a leak that Playboy Carti was going to be on this track, and I feel that would have been crazy good if he was on the track, but unfortunately he got taken off.
That instrumental
And
would have been perfect for him, wouldn't it?
yeah, and I feel like if he tried like some of the new things that he did, it would complement this track a lot better than what he's done recently, because I feel like Lean is as like as weird as Carti's been right now.
And
So it would have
probably a
been
bit of an influence for Carti as well, I'd imagine.
definitely, yeah, for sure. And then Boy Life in a U, when we move to that is one of probably my favorites on this. It's honestly like at the start there's low synths, and then young Lean again being emotional kind of, and then the heavy bass when the heavy bass comes in the chorus, it does wonders. And
And that
honestly,
chorus is so anthemic, isn't it? You just want to sing it from like a
yeah, no,
stadium or
it's so
something. It's
catchy.
crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll be listening to that for years to come, I reckon. But
That was the only single that I caught before this one dropped out. I don't know what this cycle was like. Although I saw on his Instagram, I think he like played 30 odd seconds of every song,
really,
like
wow,
at the start of May. So that was pretty crazy. I thought that Yayo was an interesting one because the instrumental was like real classic cloud rap.
yeah, no,
You sort of don't really
yeah,
hear that anymore. It's almost a dead genre of like
yeah, it's sad.
subgenre of hip hop, but it's good to see Lean keeping it alive.
Yeah, he's doing his thing, I guess. Uh,
And then we have Violence after Boy Left in EU, which is I think might have been my favorite song. Certainly when I first listened to it, I just thought
okay,
that Lean's swagger and his braggadocio was
yeah,
up. And you don't really see that all the time because obviously he's a sad boy, mainly sort of his emotional stuff. But I liked it,
yeah.
especially when he said that most people are a product of their environment, but my environment is a product of me. I thought that was like
He's got those bars,
a
doesn't
crazy
he? He's
moment.
no, like yeah, Violence. It was one of the first tracks to be released properly. Um, yeah, his flow is like quite menacing on this, and he's got
Definitely.
like just an attitude, aggressive tone. Yeah, no, it's a nice track. It's a pretty cool track, but yeah, it was all right for me. Like it wasn't the greatest on the record for me.
That's fair enough. So Out of My Head was another sort of more dreamy one
Mm.
with a crazy line of that he just sort of palmed off. Someone pushed him down the stairs.
Oh man.
That's is out of order to
Yeah,
me.
yeah, you can't be doing that. Yeah, it was a mellow track, very emotional. I think it was a big track for like character progression of Lean, and you feel when you think of like where he come from and what he's talking about now, and I feel like this is a big track for where he's at this moment. But it's a tad repetitive for my liking.
And
Um,
his voice like was a lot higher than usual, which
yeah, that's
happens
what I
on a
mean.
couple songs here.
Yeah,
But I
it's just
think on Dog Boy it was better.
Dog Boy is an anthem for me, man. It was incredible. It's one of the catchiest songs on the record. Um, and he like Young Lean. Some of the songs here, he just kind of is a bit disappointing in total, but on this one, like he shows what he can do on the beat, and like he intertwines with it really well. He creates catchy melodies, and he does it as well by switching the flow.
And
Whereas some tracks like he just keeps to the same like cadence, same flow, and it's a
mhm.
bit repetitive. But on some tracks like Dog Boy, he can just do wonders.
And that song is so strange as well. Like the whole instrumental of those weird like synth keys, like they're all that's just so sounds like
Mm,
almost like what a nursery rhyme would be backed up by or something.
yeah,
And it's
but
just
yeah,
so wild.
you look at the titles of the tracks there, and none of this is a normal like sounding track. Like all of it is just
What is a
crazy.
dog boy?
I don't know. Honestly, Butterfly Paralyzed makes no sense, man. I mean, unless you're going really specific, but no. Young Lean is just crazy. Not crazy like bad, but he's just so unique, and yeah, maybe I'm just not on his wavelength of just understanding where he's coming from. But yeah,
I think probably the craziest example of that is Acid on 7-Eleven. sort of just the whole idea of being on acid in like a 7-Eleven, I think, is like a corner shop in America.
Yeah, but it's true as well. Like he probably was. He would definitely be doing something like that.
Yeah, and although it's like a funny idea for a song, and it was quite a fun song as well. It was one of my
Yeah,
favorites. It
yeah.
does sort of make you worry for him a bit that this is what he's getting up to.
I mean, the fact that like he can just like let's say he had a great experience on this moment. Like he decided, yeah, I'm gonna name my track this. It's unbelievable. But yeah, the production on it was incredible again. Like the production has been solid throughout the whole album. But yeah, I don't know. Like for me, just again, it's quite sloppy and repetitive. I don't know. I didn't really enjoy that one. For me,
It is
like
very repetitive.
first listen, it was better. But as I kept on listening, I guess it kind of weared off. And yeah, it's not one of the highlights for me.
What about the title track, Stars,
So
with
yeah,
Ariel Pink?
I really like this. Um, it was I know like on this album, it's not many features or only the one I believe.
Mm.
And for it was nice to hear a different voice on the record to be honest. And I mean the artist didn't disappoint. Like Ariel Pink doesn't disappoint. This was my first like introduction to him.
Me too.
Um, and yeah, it was a nice chorus. The production was massive on this one. And I put it down as a sad boys anthem because I just enjoy this one. I think it was definitely one of the highlights.
I think this is like Lean at his most pure, just the great sad energy.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
they had really good chemistry, and I think you hit the
Yeah,
nail on the head really. That it was just if there wasn't that feature, there would I think the monotony would have hit a lot earlier.
yeah.
Because
And
I
it's
think you touched on earlier that he doesn't switch up his flows enough.
uh,
But this song was one that definitely sticks out.
it's no disrespect to like Lean. It's just sometimes you need just a switch. Like you just need a new voice, and you need to switch it up. That's why it's so disappointing with Carti not being on Yayo because it's like if we had that, I would have been buzzed for the next 5 tracks. Maybe I'd have a different outlook on it. And yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, this was definitely a high point.
Apparently,
Very
it
much.
was Carti's label's fault that he wasn't on the song.
He's been doing a lot, like talking about Carti. I think the leak of the track they did with Drake. I know we're going off topic, but yeah, like the leak was so much better than what happened. Recently, things haven't been. I don't know, like you wouldn't expect him to like. I don't know. I just thought it would have been so much better if he was on there. But I guess if it's a label sort, then you can't really do much about it.
Yeah, I think he's been forcing the baby voice a bit too much recently.
Do you reckon it's like a PR thing? Like there's like you can't do this.
I don't know, maybe it's a bit it's very disappointing though. Whatever you say, because Carti verse is always welcome in my house.
Definitely. Yeah, that's all we play.
Did you have anything to say on the next few songs, or was it Dog Boy after that?
I think it was Dog Boy.
We could talk about
I've
Dog Boy
got
again. It was a good track. Oh no, Hellraiser. I liked
Hellraiser. Okay.
Hellraiser.
Oh damn. Sorry then. I mean, for me it was a bit forgettable. I mean, it's cool in its own right, but I feel like it was like an album filler. There are ones where it's just you feel like you could tell there's like less like context and just less detail and effort put into it. And for me, it was one of them.
Yeah, I think it was just sort of a being a bit of a bad boy anthem, which is kind of again a bit of an evolution from the sort of stuff he's been talking about.
But yeah, I think personally, I just like the emotional side
Hmm.
of Lean, and I think I've just with Poison Ivy, it was more of that, and I think I expected that to carry over. And whilst he's like trying to transition into new things, I'm probably kind of like trying to attach onto that. So that's probably why some of the tracks that are hitting for other, like you, for example, is just not for me. But that's cool. That's why music is just great because people can have their own opinions.
Absolutely, man. What about Bus by Paradise? I didn't really have much to say about this song. I just thought the beat was good.
Yeah. I've put here. It was one of the highlights for me. Like it's one of the best beats on the record, if not the best. It's so effective and it's simplistic, but just really nice to listen to. Lean is a bit disappointing. I'm not gonna lie. Like he could have made this like a 10 out of 10 for me, but you know he does enough for it to still be like a low key like banger for me. So definitely nice.
And he was too lazy on this song for me.
Yeah, I don't know what he's going with, what direction he was going for there, but you know it's not too bad to ruin a song completely. Like the beat does enough. You know that's the thing that grabs you in, and then you know the artist has to do very like the bare minimum. But yeah, he done enough for it to be enjoyable for me.
Sort of trap music in a nutshell there, really.
Yeah,
We had Dog Boy, which you sort of already touched on, but I think is one of the
yeah,
best songs,
yeah.
definitely.
It makes up for all the disappointment. I say disappointment, but I mean just lackluster, a bit lazy, and this makes up. I feel like he shows off like what he can actually do when he's given the tools.
For sure. And then Ice Heart, I wasn't that big on either.
Mm. It was alright. Like he changed his flow up a little bit. It was a bit more advanced.
Yeah, when the
And
flow switch came in, it became a lot better.
yeah, and the beat is quite gentle and like melodic. It's quite nice on the ears. It's nice to listen to. And yeah, it was one of the top tracks for me.
Oh, damn. Then we had Pikachu and
Yeah,
Low. Two songs I wasn't that big a fan of either, to be honest.
no, it's kind of average. Like Pikachu was also one of the earlier releases. I managed to listen to it before the album came out. Maybe that's why I've kind of got a little bit tired of it. But yeah, instrumental again, it's just fire, and it's a solid attempt at what could have been, I guess. Like it was a really catchy chorus, so I can't hate on that too much. And on Low, the singing, like I feel like Lean sang like the entirety of this track, which is nice. Like he's progressing as an artist, I'd say. Like he's just trying new stuff, which is always good. Um, but yeah, it wasn't the best, but it was just a nice difference, I guess.
Well, that Pikachu hook was good, though, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think some of his
sure.
better hooks and production certainly land on this project.
Yeah, definitely. Like I think just he's trying something new, but you know he's always got the foundation of amazing production behind him. He's got the ideas. Like, I can tell, like he's just someone who just has ideas for new songs, probably every day, new directions, new vision. So you know, he's definitely only going to get better, I reckon, as the years go forward.
I think again, great production on the Sunset Surprise. I mean, those 808 hits were almost overwhelming. They were so loud, but I really
Yeah,
liked that. Just
yeah.
when they
No,
came in, it
I
was like
don't
a
mind that.
thunderstrike or something.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of goes with you know, like the title of the track. You know, when it goes sunset and then sunrise. It's just yeah.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I didn't think it was like a great song. I think like as we got to the tail end of the album, it feels like the creativity and the ideas kind of start to run out. You know.
Yeah, for me, almost after Dog Boy, everything didn't really hit me the same.
Yeah, I mean, when you say that, it's kind of true. I didn't even see it like that. I don't know, man. There's just so much potential, man. I think like with Young Lean, like he can create like a 5-star like album. He has everything to do it, and he's shown in the past in small elements that he can do wonders. But yeah, a bit lackluster, man.
I think it's just not enough of the things that it's not playing to his strengths enough on
Mm,
these songs. Like you say, the emotional songs are definitely the best ones, but he's also either got to make it shorter because 16 songs
yeah, that's crazy.
is too long. Even if they're all like 2 minutes long, it's just sort of wears you down. Like, I'd had enough by the end.
Yeah,
And even though it
that's
sort
fair.
of grew on me a bit after a few listens, I still don't think it justifies its length at all.
No, like any album really. I just see 16 tracks and I'm like, okay, this is going to be a bit of a chore at the end, unless
Definitely.
unless unless there's like 12 good songs. For it to be that length, it has to be like perfect, near perfect. And yeah, it was definitely a chore to listen to. I'm a fan of Lean, but still, that doesn't. Even if I'm biased towards him, I don't think an album from him should be that long. The Poison Ivy was incredible for album length or EP length, and he said what he wanted to say, and then he just got out. He got in and got out. It was beautiful. It had a lot of impact. But for this, I think it just kind of I slowly lost interest.
And I think we needed a few more Boy Life in EU type tracks. I think that could have carried it a lot forward. Also, maybe another feature towards the back end.
Yeah, definitely. I think this
Switch
could
it
have
up a bit.
He's got people on Sad Boys that he could have used as well. He could have got Blade on the track. He could have got Thai Boy Digital on the track. Like, it wouldn't have gone amiss. It would have suited the style. Like
When was the last time he had one of his other guys on an album?
I can't even remember. It's probably Blade. Probably Blade on previous albums, but it hasn't been for a while. I don't think so.
That's kind of crazy. If you're in a group, you got to support your boys, man. Get them on.
Yeah, maybe he's just, I don't know, maybe he just wants to, he's just got a vision, and like he's just saying, okay, I don't know, I don't want to put words into his mouth. But yeah, it would have helped with a lot of, different directions.
Definitely, because we had just ended up with so many songs that were so samey. I mean, there were a lot of songs that I enjoyed on here. Like, I think it started off really well. But then
it was beautiful
after
at the start.
almost Starz, really, it hit a bit of a, like, it just ended up being sort of the same song over a different instrumental most of the times.
For me, if you just had Boy Life in EU, Yayo, like a Ice Heart, Starz, and then like maybe 2-3 more tracks, it would have been so much different. I think we'd be saying a lot of things differently.
Yeah, like maybe even, like you say, about half the songs could well have gone from this. But overall, I did still enjoy the project. It had, for me, just about more highlights than sort of more dull moments.
Yeah.
Sure. I think I'm gonna say it was probably like a 6 to a 7 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I've got it for me. I've got about a 7 out of 10, and I put like it's just 50-50. Like, it's either a banger or it's just like, nah, not for me. There's no in between with this album.
So what would you do if you were young Lean?
Well, in regards to the future?
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. Like, I don't want to hate on this album because it's just not, it's not that bad. I just think he needs to find his strengths, like you say. He just needs to play to them. More features for sure. I feel like it will separate. It will stop, like, getting tired of just the repetition. The production was amazing. I wouldn't have changed that at all. Get some more features. Maybe just show. I don't really like the lazy flow, and like,
I think that's his biggest Achilles heel. Because when it sounds like he can't be bothered, it does make me wonder why I'm.
Yeah. Why should you be bothered if he's not gonna,
Definitely.
No, but the thing I hate as well, it's just like, you can envision tracks where they've been disappointing, and if he just changed the style up a little bit, it could be so much different. I feel like the production is always going to be there, but Lean is like the biggest ingredient to making it a hit or just no,
I 100% I know, and I still just hope that maybe that Carti verse gets added at some point, but we all know that's probably not going to happen.
Nah, we didn't get the Kid Cudi track, so probably not going to get the verse.
That was some more politics.
Yeah. They couldn't get the sample played, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Oh my god. Unbelievable.
Damn it, Pierre. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me today.
Yeah, no worries. It's been a pleasure.
Maybe if Kid Cudi drops, we'll get you in again.
Oh yeah, I have to.
But until then, take care, everybody. Stay safe. Don't shake strangers' hands. And see you next time. Bye.